morning, everyone. Welcome to the Key Biscayne Memorial Day ceremony. I want to, thank everybody because of the change in venue. I want to recognize our police and fire, of course, that are here, and our special guests, Chairman Diaz. Also, we have several council members. Lauredo is here, and our Mass Academy Coast Guard cadets are here too. So I want to thank everybody for being able to get here in the rain and all the other issues. Obviously today we're going to be here, and it's special because we're here to serve and honor those who served and gave their lives to protect our freedoms. America stands strong thanks to the sacrifices of many. Today we want to reaffirm our pledge to never forget that our very freedom comes at the expense of lives of our brave heroes, and we want to preserve those memories, which what makes America really the home of the free because of the brave. So please rise for the posting of the colors, the national anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Post the colors.
Color. Present. On. Right. Wait. Forward. Arc.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. I'd like to ask Mass Academy Cadet Williamson, come forward, please. Hopefully I didn't mess up your name too much.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend MANDY BRADY.
Good morning. Good morning. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. O God of all nations, whose mercies cannot be numbered and whose days are without end. We remember with grateful hearts the men and women of our country who in the day of decision ventured everything and made the ultimate sacrifice for the liberties we enjoy. Draw near to all who mourn the loss of those near and dear to them, particularly those we honor and remember this Memorial Day. I invite you to name the brothers and the sisters whose memory you carry, either aloud or in your hearts. Father of all, grant to them your mercy and the light of your presence. May we honor their sacrifice by offering ourselves in the pursuit of the high calling of liberty, justice, and peace. Fill us with courage that we may not break faith with the fallen. We ask this in the name of the Prince of Peace. Amen.
Amen. Now I'll ask our village manager, Stephen Williams, please come forward.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. And every year I got to wear these glasses, so means I'm getting a little bit older. So anyway, good morning, and it's truly an honor. Yeah, please sit down. Please sit down. First of all, thank you for coming today. It is a beautiful day, albeit a little bit wet. But thank you for coming out and braving this weather. We've got a tough group of residents here who really know this is an important day. And so I appreciate you coming out to show tribute to our service members and women who has lost their lives as they fought for our country and our ideals. Thank you, Mike, the American Legion, the American Legion Auxiliary, and our Parks and Recs Department who helped set up this morning for everything you do every day and throughout the year, and especially this day today. You've brought together a slice of our community. I see our joint color guard is here today, both our fire department and police department. We've got the Mast Academy cadets in the back, Coast Guard cadets. By the way, the first Coast Guard detachment in the country, so well done for them. We're supposed to have our Boy Scouts here. We have a new Boy Scout troop. Unfortunately, they all came down with COVID. So we're in some interesting days today, but we keep driving on. So we are grateful today to have our chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, Pepe Diaz. He is a true patriot, a former Marine, although he'll tell me there's no such thing as a former Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, which is what he'll tell me. When I first arrived in Miami in 2012, I came in to serve as the command engineer at the United States Southern Command up in Doral. And I have seen from the, I didn't know who he was, but I always saw this guy show up at Southcom. But I always saw how much he does for our military commands, our service members, and our veterans. Definitely, like I said before, a true patriot, not only just for our nation, but specifically for our local military commands, our service members, and their veterans. He and I have crossed paths many times since as we jointly took up causes that bettered our veterans' life, our service members' lives, and those of their family. I have also witnessed firsthand the honor and respect he has for our fallen soldiers who have served our country and sacrificed in the most difficult way. Sacrifice means service, and if there's anyone who has shown service, it is Chairman Diaz. He joined up as a young man to be a Marine, to serve our country, and then when he came home, he continued that service locally to our county. He's been a commissioner for, I don't want to count how many years. Now he is our chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, and I'm sure he will continue on to serve our country. So with that, please welcome Chairman Diaz.
Good morning. Good morning. Even though I think we're bringing some of the sun back. But I would tell you that the only people who are really happy on a day like today are the plants, that they're getting plenty of water. This is a real pleasure. Real pleasure in the people that are here today. It's raining, it's kind of miserable outside, but you're here. And that's extremely important to all those that serve. That respect that you presented by being here today. Steve, my dear friend, we've known each other already for some time, and you talk about dedication. You have been in Colonel, if I'm not mistaken, military, United States Army, and I was gonna go on, but I won't. Some people might not understand the jokes we have between us. But those that serve know that we tear each other apart, but we love each other, and we would do anything for each other, and that's that camaraderie that exists between us all. I am also honored to be in, once again, paradise, which is today a little rainy, but this is one of the best places ever. You guys in the Keys know how to really, really do it right. So I'm always supportive, continue to be supportive, and will be by the time, at least I got another 7 months to go to continue to help you, and I know there's a couple of issues that you have that you want to be. If not, Steve reminds me all the time. My dear friend that is here, Luis Lauredo, ambassador, and also council member of Key Biscayne. We've been together through a couple of big wars, not fighting in that sense, but politically, and trying to make sure the FTAA was done in the United States, especially in Miami-Dade. And I would tell you, this is a great man that done a lot for all of us, and as an ambassador, and then now at the Keys, continues to serve our community. Thank you, Louis, for what you do. Any other elected officials that's here, I'm sorry. I don't know who is here, but thank you for being here also and participating. I know that there's several of us that participate and do a lot, but sometimes don't get the recognition. And one of those gentlemen that did get the recognition for doing an incredible job, and not only here on your Key, former mayor, and also an incredible dear friend of mine, but now I saw that his name is outside this building, Joe Roscoe. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us. Today marks a very somber and personal day for our nation. Many believe this weekend kicks off the summer season. But the true meaning of today and the reality of the holiday is very different. As a proud Marine, chairman of the board of county commissioners, the military liaison for Miami-Dade County, and chairman of the military affairs board, I fully understand what we are doing here today. Today is about paying respects and honor. Respect and honor to those brave men and women who stood up in the defense of the nation. Men and women who selfishly paid the ultimate price in defense of our nation with their lives. Men and women who throughout the course of our country's history valued the freedom this land was built upon. I would like to share with you a quote from President Ronald Reagan. Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. We do not pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Today, let's all remember and honor our soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors, Coast Guardmen, who paid the ultimate price. Before I end, I also want to recognize one person that continues, an Iraq veteran that has also worked very hard in our county and is the executive director of the military board, Mr. Cruz, is sitting right here, Gus Cruz. Once again, to all the veterans, thank you for being part of a long bloodline of people that supported and helped continue the greatness of our nation. And will continue to do so no matter to what age we are. And to those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, you are being remembered today and every day of our lives. So to you, the respect, the military, make sure that the next time you see somebody in uniform, do not forget to say thank you, and also continue to keep them in your prayers every day. With that, thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Chairman Diaz. I really appreciate not only coming today, but also for those great words. But more importantly, what you do every single day for our county, not just as our chairman, but also what you do for the Military Affairs Board and everything that you've done for our service members. What I like to do is shift gears here, and I'd like to introduce our next speaker, one of our council members and ambassador, Ambassador Luis Lauredo. Sir?
Good morning. Commander King, thank you for having me. Gus Cruz, thank you for bringing our good friend. As to Pepe Diaz, who spoke entirely too much about me, an outstanding United States Marine, a friend from a long time when he started his career in Sweetwater. He's a friend. He's a friend of Biscayne. He, to me, is one with a reflection of the ultimate public servant, the ultimate intelligence in public affairs, which is the ultimate intelligence in public affairs, which is humility. He has always listened to our concerns. He has always had an open mind for Key Biscayne concern. And that humility, which is that's the strength of an intelligent man, has him in time changed his mind to accommodate and see our points of view. I'm honored to call you a friend. And you're a friend of Key Biscayne. Thank you, and you deserve another round of applause. Memorial Day. Today, to me, is America's true holiday. Not holiday, but holiday. Not a holiday of beach, barbecues, and recreation, but a sacred day. When we remember and honor those who gave their lives so that we here today can enjoy our freedom. In the words of Lincoln, those who gave their lives that one nation might live. Their gift to us, in a true sense, Memorial Day, not July 4th, is our national day. For on July 4th, we celebrate the Declaration of Independence, the Declaration of Independence. It celebrates the intent to create this new and free democratic nation. Today, we celebrate eloquent words put to paper in ink. In ink. It is a Memorial Day that we celebrate the creation, the reality, and the durability of close to 250 years of sustained great democracy in this great country. It is a memorial to those who symbolize America, not with words, not with ink and paper, but with their blood. The ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate gift, and the ultimate challenge to us. As we face tragic times in our country and around the world, and unfortunately we are deeply divided sometimes, let us remember the words of Lincoln in Gettysburg. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that we're here resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall never perish from earth. Their courage has not only inspired us in the United States, but also across the world that fight for the same dreams and ideals of individual freedom and democracy. Today, in 2022, their descendants, their spiritual sons and daughters, fight in Ukraine against barbaric, criminal genocide imposed by Russia on the brave and independent people of Ukraine. We honor them specially today as the heirs to our foundation. For those who perish, that we may be free, and for those who have died for the same dream in the world, for the same dream, for our faith and support for the ideals for which they died, let us pray. And quote from the Bible, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. So be it. May God bless them. May God bless these United States of America.
Also reminded by that Chairman Diaz was in the Ukraine not very long ago. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago. So I just want to make, he also has other appointments today. So at this time, we're going to excuse him and his staff and friends. But we want to thank you, sir. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Dawn, I'd like you to come forward. We're going to continue with our ceremony. Dawn Cromartie from our American Auxiliary.
Let me just adjust this. I think I'm becoming known as the poppy lady here, and I unfortunately do apologize to the community. We ran out of poppies from our last purchase of them, but we were able to give a fair amount to St. Agnes, who traditionally would pass them out to their students every year. So it's heartwarming that they do that for us every year. And so I'm just going to read just a real quick bit of information on the past of how the poppy became a symbol. Millions of people worldwide wear the poppy as a call to honor veterans who lost their lives. The custom can be traced back to 1918 when Melina Michael popularized the idea of wearing a poppy flower in memory of the lives lost in World War II. She drew inspiration from the poem In Flanders Fields, which I'll read shortly, written by W. War to John McCrae and his sorrow at looking at rows and rows of graves where his comrades recently had been buried. In the decades that followed, poppies had been worn, displayed, distributed for fundraising efforts by veterans groups such as the American Legion family around the world. The American Legion family has had a connection to the poppy since the early 1920s, when it was adopted as our official memorial flower to pay homage to the battlefields of World War II. Since then, the American Legion family, led by the American Legion Auxiliary, has supported the military community by promoting the significance of the flower and the meaning behind it. Each year, members and volunteers of the American Legion family pass them out to communities they're living in. In 2017, the American Legion family brought the National Poppy Day to the United States to designate the Friday before Memorial Day as the National Poppy Day. So actually, May 27th was National Poppy Day. And now I'll read a very famous poem titled In Flanders Field, which I get to read always. But it's very meaningful as to the Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae and noticing poppies to start with. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and we were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from falling hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field.
Thank you, Don. Larry, I'd like to have you come forward. This is our American Legion historian. I misspelled his name. It was a typo. It's not Larry LaRue. It's Larry LaRousse.
And another good morning, everybody. The custom of honoring war dead has ancient origins. We have documentation that it existed during the time of the days of the Greek and the Roman empires, and doubtlessly the custom existed before then. The American custom begins with our Civil War, following the Civil War, with the decoration of war graves. That's not surprising when you realize that practically every American during the Civil War lost someone in that bloody conflict. 2.4% of our population at that time were lost in that war on both sides. To put that in perspective today, that would equate to 8 million of us. For 2 years, I've been saving a column that impressed me, a newspaper column written by Leonard Pitts, Jr. in 2020 for Memorial Day, and I think it's as appropriate today. So please bear with me, and I hope you find it as meaningful as I did. And Memorial Day comes around once more. Gateway to the summer, to beaches, beer, and barbecue, yes. But gateway, too, to reminders of all that was given, taken, lost to make America. And is it fanciful to think maybe the reminder is needed more this year than in many years past? Perhaps. After all, previous generations have needed reminding too. This was true even in October of 1862, when photographer Matthew Brady opened an exhibit at his New York gallery, The Dead of Antietam. It depicted the bodies of American boys who had been killed in a pivotal Civil War battle the month before. It was the first time most Americans had seen with their own eyes the carnage and cost of war. The New York Times was stunned. The dead of the battlefield come up to us very rarely, even in dreams, it editorialized. We see the list in the morning paper at breakfast, but dismiss this recollection with the coffee. There is a confused mass of names, but they are all strangers. We forget the horrible significance that dwells amid the jumble of type. Mr. Brady has done something to bring home to us the terrible reality and earnestness of war. If he has not brought bodies and laid them in our dooryards and along our streets, he has done something very like it. After reading that, I thought to myself, well, let's go back to 1862. And what was life like? Well, the month before, America had suffered the bloodiest one day in its history. The Battle of Antietam cost 23,000 killed, wounded, or missing on both sides. The battle lasted 12 hours, 23,000. That's 4 times the loss that we suffered in D-Day. So the country was in a state of shock. And then we have this exhibit in New York of photographs of dead soldiers laying in fields. Well, think about photographs in 1862. A photograph was kind of an exotic item. It wasn't common. There was no photo engraving, so there were no photos in newspapers or magazines. A photograph was something you put on the mantle, and it was a portrait. It was a portrait that you paid a lot of money for. You went to the photographer's studio, and they held your head in a brace so you didn't move while they took your picture, okay? It was a very unusual thing to have a photograph, especially if you have one now that Matthew Brady showed of the war dead laying in the fields at Antietam. That explains, I think, why the New York Times was stunned. Here then was a reminder of how much it took so that America might again be made imperfectly whole, so that Edison might one day turn on the lights and Bell pick up the phone, so that we might escape to the ball field on a perfect summer's day, so that Mae West might invite us to come up and see her, so that boys might plunk down their dimes for the latest Superman, so that Franklin Roosevelt might thunder against an infamous day. Just over 80 years after Brady opened his exhibit, another photographer, George Strock, snapped a picture of 3 American soldiers sprawled dead on the shore of Buna Beach in New Guinea, victims of a Japanese ambush. It was the better part of a year before military censors, fearing the effect on the nation's morale, allowed Life magazine to publish it. The question was kicked all the way up to President Roosevelt, who decided this was something Americans needed to see. Because here again was a reminder of what it cost. So that free people might smash a reign of tyranny, so that girls might someday shriek for Ricky, Pat, or Elvis, so that Martin Luther King might speak his dream, so that Aretha Franklin and Gloria Steinem might demand respect, so that kids might play astronaut, so that we might learn to use microwaves, fax machines, and computers. Buna Beach and Antietam Creek are just 2 battlefields from 2 of the wars that defined America. On this Memorial Day weekend, let them stand in for San Juan Hill and Breeds Hill, for Way and Takur Gar, for Inchon and Argonne, and all the other places lives have been taken, given, lost to make America and keep America. Here at the gateway of summer, in a season of vitriol and face masks, of guns and hydroxychloroquine, a season when keeping America feels like a shaky bet, let them stand as reminders of the awful price once paid. All so that this country might now pull itself apart or make itself imperfectly whole again. That was published May 24th of 2020. Sergeant Alvin York was a World War I Medal of Honor recipient. He was so famous that his life was featured in a movie starring Gary Cooper, and it was shown during World War II to help boost morale. Sergeant York was quoted as saying that they thought they had won liberty, democracy, and peace in the Great War. What they found out, he said, was that they only made a payment on it. It's a lease that you have to make continual payments on it in order to keep it. Today, we remember those who made those payments for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Larry, you're showing your age by quoting Mae West. Let me explain. Dick, as we start to wind down our ceremony, have Dick Graham will instead of laying a wreath, which we have in front of us. We'll read the names of those that have left us from our Legion, and then we'll be playing taps. And when we play taps, everybody will rise. Go ahead, Dick.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I normally don't need a mic, but I'm getting old and my voice is a little weaker than it used to be. When I was the commander, Maggie Burke, most of you remember Maggie. She was my vice commander for 4 years, and I was wondering how much longer I had to go. So I was able to talk to her. She had just retired from the Army herself, active reserve, and also from the hospital. She was a nurse at Jackson. And the first thing she did was have me start remembering all of our Key Biscayne American Legion members had passed away. So thanks a lot. And the list was about 10 people then. I hate to tell you how long it is, but you're going to find out. I want you all to remember this. The names that I am going to repeat, they are American Legion members. There are many veterans on this island who live in the condos. I don't know how many are left in the homes, but they are missed by their families as well. But the names that we are going to announce and that I'm going to start reading are American Legion members, and that I want you to remember that, okay? Albert W. Farley, MD. Richard Longacre. Eric Eubing. Faudrey Malt. Harold Foster. J. Gordon McDonald. Wally Brooks. Arthur Gray. Harold Rustin. Max Goodman. Gerald Brochek. Rocco W. Pace. Lee Balton. Larry Dreyfus. Randy Lee. Wanda Singer. Joseph Domidio. Mel Brown. Robert Gallagher, MD. Frank Burke. Sarkis Davidian. Harry Tellum. John Rice, better known as Bob Rice. Carl Leon, MD. Jerry McMahon. George Albert. Harrison Smith. Robert Maggs, MD. Ed Fogler. Hugh O'Reilly. Edmund Blondell. Robert Kirkman, MD. Margaret Burke. Sir Thomas Flynn. James Chass. Charlie Nash. Thomas Hansen. James Ortez. Don Keller. James Haney. George Freeland. Donald Murray. Richard L. Cromartie. William Sadlier. Mort Freed. Harold Reeves. Elroy Reep. Herbert Weingast. Richard Fish Herring. Sergei Kowalczyk. Everett McDonald. Merle Ham. Joe Griffith. And finally Cliff Brody. Those last four I just added to the list, and that's been, I don't believe anyone else has passed away during that last 2 years that we haven't met. But anyway, those are the names that we honor today and are no longer with us. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Please rise for the playing of taps. Please be seated. As we wrap up the meeting, ceremony, I want to mention that Ed London was the one being recognized earlier. He's back there. I don't know if any other council members are here, but I wanted to. Yeah, I got Ed. Oh, okay. Okay, there you are. Everybody's pointing everywhere. Okay, just a reminder, since World War I, 645,000 have lost their lives. I always recommend at all these ceremonies for our veterans and family members of veterans to go out and share their memories and stories with their grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends, family, countrymen, Romans, anybody who'll listen. Capturing and collecting stories from the veterans in your life not only help the veterans, but also preserves their memory and serves to shed light on the important role these men and women play in our country. I want to thank again the police and Fire Honor Guard, our village manager, Master Academy cadets, thank you so much, Councilman Lauredo, and obviously Commissioner Pepe Diaz, who's had to leave early. Thank you all, and have a wonderful Memorial Day. Retrieve the colors.
Right. March time. March. Detail. Hold. Right. Face. Present. Hung. Post. Ready. Oh. Right. Face. Forward. March. Right.
That concludes our ceremony. Thank you all.